Hey, what's up, guys? It's Andrew Olsentowski. I'm back with another UFC prediction video. This time, UFC Fight Night, Covington versus Buckley. This event goes down Saturday, December 14th. Prelims begin at 7 p.m. It's going down from Tampa, Florida. It's the last fight night of the year, guys. And it's a pretty good one. So let's get into it. First up, Miles Johns against Felipe Lima. Felipe Lima, 13-fight win streak. He's coming off a win over Muhammad Naimov back in June. I believe that was on short notice. So this guy, he's been getting finishes, man. And he's going up against Miles Johns, who was supposed to fight Cody Garbrandt. Cody Garbrandt pulled out of the fight. No surprise in that. But now he has to take on an up-and-comer, which probably isn't good for his hype and all that. But I'm going to side with Miles Johns still. It's probably going to be a dog or pass situation at the betting line. But I'm going to side with Miles Johns. Daniel Marcos against Adrian Yanez. Marcos undefeated so far. 22-fight win streak. Beat John Castaneda in his last outing. No contest with Ireland. Beat Davey Grant. Selman Oliveira. He's going up against Adrian Yanez, who I believe is coming off a win, but he did have a few fights that he lost. Beat Vinicius Salvador, lost to Martinez, lost to Rob Font. I'm going to side with Yanez here, man. I think Yanez is he's just a harder hitter. Might be slightly more well-rounded, but I'm going to side with Yanez here. Sean Woodson against Fernando Padilla. Two very tall guys for the featherweight division here. Padilla, he's coming off a win over Luis Puello by Darce. Lost to Kyle Nelson before that. Beat Julian Erosa. Sean Woodson, he's a tough guy to beat, man. He's only got that one loss. I wonder if that was to Erosa too. Yeah, it was to Erosa. And the guy hasn't lost since, man. I'm going to side with Sean Woodson here. Manel Kape against Bruno Silva. I'm going to side with Kape here. Bruno Silva should bring the action to him. He's been on a nice winning streak himself, man. Nice 4-fight winning streak. He hasn't lost since 2020. He did take some damage in that Durden fight, but he did get Durden out of there. Kape, he's coming off that disappointing loss to Mokaev, and when there was a lot of trash talk exchanged, but Mokaev just out-grappled him. I'm going to side with Kape here, but again, Bruno Silva's on a 4-fight winning streak. Davey Grant against Ramon Tavares. Just not really high on Davey Grant anymore, man. He's been around the UFC for probably close to a decade now, or, for close to a decade now. Lost to Daniel Marcos by split decision. It's going up against Ramon Tavares, who I don't think has fought since, January? Yeah, since he fought Serhi. I'm going to side with Ramon Tavares there. Navajo Stirling against Tuco Tokos. Tokos, don't know much about him. 1-fight losing streak. Lost to Omar C. I think he took that on short notice. That was back in May. He's going up against Stirling, who I believe was on the Contender Series. 5 wins, 5-0 professional record. Beat Felipe Latu on the Contender Series back in September. I'm going to side with Stirling here to pick up the win. Piera Rodriguez against Josephine Knutsson. Piera Rodriguez, man, I don't think her career has really ever taken off in the UFC. She's got a couple wins, but nothing to write home about. It's on a 2-fight losing streak. They're throwing her up against the prospect and Josephine Knutsson here. 8-0. 9-fight winning streak. Beat Julia Pilastri. Beat Marnik McMahon. I'm going to side with Josephine Knutsson here to get another win. Dustin Jacoby against Vitor Petrino. Jacoby's coming off that knockout loss to Dominic Reyes. He's on a 2-fight losing streak, 36 years old. And I think the UFC is giving him to a prospect here, man. He's 1-4 in his last 5 UFC fights. If he loses here, he's probably out of there. The UFC's probably going to cut him. Vitor Petrino, 11-1. He's coming off a loss to Anthony Smith. Got choked out with a guillotine, which is very surprising. But I'm going to side with Vitor Petrino here to pick up the win. Miranda Maverick against Jamie Lynn Horth. I think Maverick might just be slightly better here. She's on a 3-fight winning streak. She tends to make fights a little closer than what they should be. Jamie Lynn Horth, she's coming off a quick turnaround here. Coming off a split decision win over Ivana Petrovic. Lost to Veronica Hardy before that. I'm going to side with Miranda Maverick. Michael Johnson against Ottoman Izatar. I'm going to side with Johnson here, man. This guy's showing that he's still got it. He's on a 1-fight winning streak. Beat Darius Flowers by unanimous decision. Ottoman Izatar is going to bring it to him. He'll probably gas if he can't get the first round finish. Should leave some openings for Johnson to counter. Izatar is on a 2-fight losing streak. He has not fought since 2023. I'm going to side with Michael Johnson here to pick up the win. Drakkar Klose against Joel Alvarez. Again, I'm not really high on Klose. Doesn't fight often enough for me. Alvarez, he's just got a really good frame for lightweight, man. Good at submissions, good knockout power. He's coming off a win over Elvis Brenner, in which he completely dominated. Beat Casey before that. I'm going to side with Joel Alvarez here to pick up the win. Cub Swanson against Billy Q. 2 guys that really haven't seen much success. Cub Swanson on a 1-fight losing streak. Lost to Feely by split decision. Quarantillo, he's seen better days as well. He's on a 1-fight losing streak. Got submitted by Yusuf Zallah. Went over Damon Jackson before that. I'm going to side with Billy Q here. But again, it won't surprise me how this ends. Amanda Ribas against Mackenzie Dern. This is a rematch. Ribas hasn't fought since she lost to Rose Namajunas back in March. She beat Mackenzie Dern back in 2019. Mackenzie Dern, I believe, is coming off a win. She beat Lupita Godinez. I'm going to side with Ribas here to pick up the win again, but it should be a close fight. Let's take a look at the odds. Minus 120 on Ribas, plus 100 on Dern. Main event, Covington versus Buckley. And I think this is a buy low spot on Covington, a sell high spot on Buckley. Covington, he didn't look good against Leon Edwards last December. It's been a whole year since he's fought, man. So, but we know that he trains, he stays in the gym. He stays ready to fight. He's looking for ideal matchups that he can come back to and win. Fights about once a year. 36 years old. 17-4 record. Like I said, I don't know if he hurt his foot in that Leon Edwards fight. He lost. So, no shame in that. We know Edwards is probably the number 2 ranked welterweight in the world. Buckley, he's got all the hype right now. And this would be a good time to kind of, sell him high. 5-fight winning streak. He's looked very good, man, at welterweight. I thought Thompson was up 2 rounds on him. I think the judges had it 1-1. He finishes Thompson in the 3rd. Good win over Uzaboa before that. Beat Luque, Morano, Fiallo. I just think Covington's going to put the pressure and pace on him. I think it could be a close fight. We haven't seen Buckley go 5 rounds. Buckley's an explosive fighter, with knockout power that's going to fade as the fight goes on, I believe. And like I said, I just think it's a buy low, sell high spot on, buy low on Covington, sell high on Buckley. And, Covington is the underdog here, man. You're getting plus 145 or plus 165 when I'm on Bet Online last time I looked. So I'm going to side with the underdog in Covington here. So guys, my picks: Covington, Ribas, Quarantillo, Alvarez, Johnson, Maverick, Petrino, Knutsson, Stirling, Tavares, Kape, Woodson, Yanez, and Johns.